Why is the punishment for fornication is so harsh? Why? Lashing or stoning. Why is that? Because it is in proportion with the crime. One of the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is Al-Hakim, the all-wise. So whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala designates a punishment, it is the just punishment for the crime. Somebody says it's too harsh to cut somebody's hands off for stealing. Yes, because when that law was implemented at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, only four cases took place. Why? Because there is a serious punishment. But when there is no punishment, then everybody is a thief. Countries, the president and the regime and the cabinet, the rulers of countries are thieves. Why? Because there is no punishment. They can just simply get away with their crime. But when the punishment is severe, it stops the crime. When somebody, Allah allows him to get married, just get married. But he, instead of getting married, fulfills his desire in the haram, then he deserves the punishment. And when the person is already married, and he looks outside the marriage relationship in order to have to commit adultery or satisfy his desire and lust unlawfully, then also the punishment is in proportion with the crime. In order to preserve the integrity of the family, in order to make certain that everybody knows who's his dad and who's the family father, the mess that we see in the West, simply because there is no such punishment. Everybody can simply sleep with everybody with no restriction whatsoever, as long as they agree. Modesty cannot be simply preached in lectures, because they preach that in the church, but in the church itself they commit the molestation and fornication and adultery. Why? Because there is no law. There is no law and order. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَزَعُ بِالسُّلْطَانِ مَا لَا يَزَعُ بِالْقُرْآنِ. So when there is a law and order, how many cases of adultery were reported at the time of the Prophet ﷺ? We know that the case of Al-Mar'atu Al-Ghamidiyya and Ma'iz, just a couple of cases. In a society which was initially, before Islam, established on drinking and fornication. It was very, very common. But because of the seriousness of the punishment, these evil practices were eliminated from the society. And guess what? You think that the punishment is severe? Think about this. The punishment will be only reported or will be only due either when the person admits the sin by himself or herself and needs to be purified, like Ma'az and Al-Ghamidiyya, very interesting stories, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will pardon them and forgive them their sins, which is adultery, or when 4 male witnesses testify that they have seen them in a complete intercourse. Which means that people who may commit this in private and they get away with their crime, will not chasten them. We're not supposed to dig behind them in order to report them. But those who may do that in public, to the extent that 4 men will get to catch them, they really deserve the severe punishment. Okay.